What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today's video will be a carry on from yesterday's, where I reviewed the top 10 dividend paying stocks that I believe should be in everyone's portfolio going forward. These top 10 dividend stocks are from a wide array of different sectors, which will certainly help with diversification. In yesterday's video, we covered 3M, which is in the industrial sector, AbbVie, which is in the healthcare sector, AT&T, which is in the communication services sector, Chevron in the energy sector, and JP Morgan and Chase, which is in the financial sector. You can find the link to yesterday's video in the description below also. So in today's video, we're going to cover the energy sector, the healthcare, consumer discretionary, a second company in the healthcare sector, and finally, real estate. So the first company in today's list and the sixth of the 10 overall is Exxon Mobil. Exxon Mobil is an American multinational oil and gas co-op headquartered in Texas. It is the largest descendant of John D. Rockefeller's Standard Oil and was formed in 1999. This company is traded on the New York Stock Exchange and has ticker XOM. It is in the energy sector, and more importantly, it is in the oil and gas integrated industry. At time of recording, the NAV was $39.08. ExxonMobil employs just under 75,000 full-time employees. In terms of the company's one-year chart on Yahoo Finance, as you can see, it was hit hard in the crash in March, but has begun to recover since. And I believe that since its pre-crisis NAV of over $70, at a NAV of now just over $35, I feel it's a company that's undervalued. And as a long-term investor, I feel this company's NAV will go up again. In terms of Exxon's top shareholders, the Vanguard Group is top of the pile at 7.86% stake. In second place is SSGA Funds Management with 5.23%, and third is BlackRock Fund Advisors with just under 5% stake in the company. ExxonMobil is a dividend aristocrat and pays a quarterly dividend. Their LTM dividend yield is 8.77%, which is $3.43 a share, and their forward annualized dividend is an impressive 8.9% or $3.48 per share. It is also worth noting that they've consecutively increased their dividends year on year for the past 13 years. The second company on this list and the seventh company of the 10 is Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson is an American multinational corporation founded in 1886 that develops medical devices, pharmaceutical and consumer packaged goods. The company is traded on the New York Stock Exchange and is ticker JNJ. It is in the healthcare sector, and more importantly, it is in the drug manufacturers general in the industry, and the current NAV at time of recording was $148.59. Johnson & Johnson, from their one-year chart, has seen an impressive recovery since the crash in the middle of March and has topped or even surpassed their pre-crisis NAV. Johnson & Johnson, like many other pharmaceutical companies, will be racing to the post to see who can get the best vaccine for the current crisis, and that could have a massive impact on the NAV going forward. The company's top shareholders are Vanguard Group with an 8.33% holding, SSGA Fund Management with a 5.8% holding, and just under 5% is BlackRock Fund Advisors. Again, like many of the other companies on this list, Johnson & Johnson is a dividend aristocrat and it pays a quarterly dividend. Currently, it is paying out an LTM of 2.51% or $3.75 per share, and its forward annualized dividend is 2.7% or $4.04 per share. It is also worth noting that the company has paid a consecutive increased dividend for the past 24 years, which is definitely very impressive. The third company on today's video and the eighth of the 10 overall is PepsiCo. PepsiCo is an American multinational food, snack and beverage co-op located in New York. It has interests in the manufacturing, marketing and distribution of grain-based snack foods, beverages and other products. PepsiCo is traded on the Nasdaq and has ticker PEP. It is in the consumer defensive sector, and in the industry it is beverage non-alcoholic. The NAV at time of recording was $138.76. Again, we can see from the one-year chart on Yahoo Finance, just like the previous company Johnson & Johnson, since the crash in the middle of March, the company has recovered very well and is already nearly back to pre-crisis levels. Like the majority of the companies on this list, the top three shareholders are Vanguard with an 8.5% holding, BlackRock Fund Advisors with a 4.97% holding, and SSGA Fund Management with a 4.69% holding. PepsiCo is another dividend aristocrat and it currently pays a quarterly dividend of 2.7% or $3.76 per share. Its forward annualized dividend is 2.93% or $4.09 per share. It has also paid an impressive consecutive dividend increase for the past 24 years. At number 4 in today's video, and the ninth of the 10th overall, is Pfizer. Pfizer is an American multinational pharmaceutical co-op headquartered in New York. It is the world's largest pharmaceutical company and ranked 57th on the 2018 Fortune 500 as the largest US co-op by total revenue. Pfizer is traded on the New York Stock Exchange and has ticker PFE. It is in the healthcare sector and the industry is drug manufacturer general. The company currently employs over 88,000 full-time employees, and at time of recording, the NAV was $36.36. As you can see from the one-year chart on Yahoo Finance, since the crash in March, this company has had more of a roller coaster ride than most. We can see since March it started to recover up until June, and since June it crashed back down in July. And since July it has went back in an upwards trajectory and is reaching the heights it was in the pre-market crash. In terms of the company's top shareholders, Vanguard Group again leads the way with 7.75% of the stake in the company. SSGA Fund Management has a 5.38% holding, and in third place is BlackRock Fund Advisors with a 5% stake in the company. Pfizer pays a quarterly dividend, and their LTM dividend yield is 3.96% or $1.44. The fifth company on this list and the 10th company overall is Realty Income. Realty Income is a real estate investment trust that invests in freestanding single-tenant commercial properties in the US, Puerto Rico, and the UK that are subject to NNN leases. The company is organized in Maryland with its headquarters in San Diego, California. Realty Income is traded on the New York Stock Exchange and is ticker O. It is in the real estate sector and the industry is REIT or retail. At time of recording, the NAV was $64.37 and it employs just over 200 full-time employees. As you can imagine, with Realty Income focusing on property and leasing since the crash, it would have had a drastic effect on this company. But since March, you can see that it has improved month on month since the crash, which is very promising to see, and I currently think at the current value that it is undervalued as a company. Just like the majority of the companies on this list, the same three main shareholders are occupying the top three places. The Vanguard Group has an impressive 15.31% stake in the company, SSGA Fund Management has a 7.78% holding, and in third place, BlackRock Fund Advisors has a 6.44% holding. Interestingly enough, with Realty Income, they pay a dividend on a monthly basis, unlike the majority of the quarterly dividend-based companies. Their current LTM dividend yield is 4.22%, which is quite impressive, which equates to $2.71. Their forward annualized dividend yield is 4.36% or $2.80 per share. Realty Income is also a dividend aristocrat and has impressively paid a consecutive dividend increase for the past 25 years. Another thing that I really like about Realty Income is that it definitely helps with diversification, as there isn't many real estate sector companies that I would approve of. So with that being said, that brings the end to today's video. Over today's video and yesterday's, I've covered the top 10 dividend paying companies that I would buy now and put into my portfolio. Another thing I like about these 10 companies is that they're all diversified out in different sectors. It would be great if you consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't done so already, and if you could smash that like button and comment below on your views on these 10 companies that I've picked, and which of these 10 dividend aristocrats would you include in your own portfolio and which ones would you avoid. It would also be great if you comment below on companies that I haven't included on this list and your reasons why you would include them in your dividend companies. Thanks very much for always for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next video.